Good enough. We have resolved the problem, and we now have live joining us via Zoom. Charles Aniagwu, spokesperson PDP Presidential Campaign Organization. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Amici. This is one of those things you see sometimes when you rely on technology. But it's nice to be here. Good morning, viewer.
Okay, we had Adamu Garuba, a member of the APC, just left our studio now, and he raised big allegations against the PDP that the Naira swap, including the fuel supply crisis, are machinations of your party, the People's Democratic Party. Maybe you want a quick reaction to the issue, starting from the Naira currency swap.
Well, Amici, long before we were born, we were told that he's a bad workman that always quarrels with his tools. He gets to the farm with a shovel. And when he becomes lazy and is not able to work, he begins to look for how to either blame the shovel or those who manufacture the shovel. The party in power today is the APC. For every other thing that they tend to have gotten right, they claim credit. When they play the ball and then they, instead of playing it into the goalpost and possibly scoring a goal, they play it up above the goalpost and then it's over the bar. And when that happens, they begin to look for how PDP poured powder in the field, and as such, they were not able to see where to place the ball. It's quite laughable that the APC will continue to look for who to blame. Sometimes they blame the international community. They have even gotten to the extent of even fighting with Muhammadu Buhari, the president of the party, of the country, and of course, the supposed leader of the party. And we don't blame them. The fact is that they are saying that everything is falling in pleasant places for the PDP, that Nigerians have come to realize that electing the APC again will amount to killing our country and a very dirty blow on electoral democracy in Nigeria. The policy of the CBN, of course, you heard the president saying that he authorized it, that he's very much aware, and that he gave approval. Because it is easier for them to insult the CBN governor and other persons, they try to run away from that policy. They make it look as if the PDP is the one in power. On the issue of the petroleum products, the president is the minister of petroleum. For some time, you remember before 2019, they claimed that they were able to deal a dirty blow on the fuel queues. Now that it's obvious that they have not been able to solve the problem, they are calling the PDP that is not even in power. I'm not aware there is any of the ministers or anybody holding sway in government today that is of the PDP stock, except, of course, those who have decamped in the course of time. And so, I don't think APC understands that Nigerians are much more intelligent than they are crediting them. I do hope that as they continue in these next couple of weeks or possibly days ahead of the 2023 general elections, that they're able to realize that we're not in a banana republic, that Nigerians are very, very discerning. And so, let them tell us the effort they are making to mitigate the challenges Nigerians are facing at the moment, whether in the area of Naira redesign or in the area of fuel queues, or the many challenges as it affects insecurity. You heard what happened in Katsina. Perhaps they will also blame PDP for the death of those persons in Katsina. So, Amici, I don't want you to even begin to listen to them. We should ask them to come out and tell us what they have done in the past 7.5 years and what they are going to do rather than looking for who to blame. They seem not to have shame. If they do, they won't be progressing in this direction.
Well, part of the justification he gave for his position was that for the first time, PDP has come out in praise of a policy of the APC, and they say and think it's very abnormal for PDP to give thumbs up to a policy of the APC administration, they say, for the first time.
Is it not funny that he agrees that it's the policy of the APC and that we're praising the policy of the APC? And in the same breath, he's saying that the PDP is the one causing it. Does it not tell you that they are very, very confused? If the government takes or possibly initiate a policy that makes sense, the PDP is not blind as to be able to say, yes, this is good. But on the issue of the Naira redesign, we are not praising the way it's being implemented because at the moment, Nigerians are going through a whole lot of challenge in trying to access the Naira. But we're saying that anything that will help us fight corruption, anything that will help us reduce insecurity, because it is very, very proven that once you have a lesser cash moving in between people, you are not likely to have kidnappers asking you to go and bring 10 million naira to be able to free somebody because they know you will not have access to it. And the kidnappers are not likely going to ask you to transfer money to them. So when we said that it is important, if it is going to enable us to have a free and fair election, if it is going to enable us to have security in our country even far beyond the election, if it's going to enable our country also fall within the what is happening in developed climes, that is good in that direction. But in doing so, the downtrodden, our brothers and sisters who live in rural communities and those who live in the cities should be able to have access to their funds so that they can afford to still do their business. APC is hiding under the challenge the public is facing. Amechi, I can tell you authoritatively that is not their concern. Since when did they start getting concerned about the challenge of the people? When our brothers and sisters troop to the street to demand for reform in the police, to demand for a lot of changes, otherwise tag the NSAS, what did the governors of the APC do? Did they convert on the villa to speak to the president? Did the APC feel that it was concerned about those issues raised by the youth? When our children stayed at home for over 8 months, did the governors of the APC convert on the villa to see the president? It is about them. What is disturbing them is that they have not been able to see how they could navigate this particular challenge to give strength to the Emiloko principle, where their presidential candidate said is his turn. And so that money that they have started in bullion vans is not working for them. That is what they are crying for. Let no Nigerian mistake it that APC is crying for Nigerians. These leaders of the APC are not crying for Nigerians. They are crying because that money they have stashed away, which President Muhammadu Buhari have discovered through intelligence, is what they want to bring in from the back door. Nigerians will try as much as possible to navigate through this challenge and let the CBN take further steps to help Nigerians cope with this challenge so that people can begin to have access to funds for the purpose of doing their little businesses or having to engage in one financial transaction or the other. But not the type that APC is asking for. They have already planned that trillions of naira is available to them. They boasted about it, and they have said that they will swallow everybody with the money. And you know they have that capacity. Of course, you know what has been happening. Even when Bola Tinubu is not credited to have any company, he is seen to be one of the richest person in this country. You begin to ask yourself, what are the source of those funds? So if you hear them complain, Amechi, I was listening to the former governor of Edo State yesterday, Adams Oshiomhole, and I began to wonder. I thought the defeat he suffered in the hand of Obaseki must have taught him a lesson to begin to learn how to speak like somebody who ordinarily should have qualified as an elder statesman. I still see him abusing everybody. I said, how can elders be very busy abusing rather than telling Nigerians what they want to do? So Amechi, They are not crying for Nigerians. They are crying that they don't know what to do with the money they have started in their different hidden places. That's just the issue, not Nigeria. That's not their focus.
We'll have to thank you so much, Charles Aniagwu, spokesperson of the PDP Presidential Council, Campaign Council, for your time.